samurai spirit here. From the epic to the mundane, anime is a medium that has delivered us many, many fight scenes. They can come in the form of mortal enemies settling old scores, friends testing each other's abilities, or the simple act of beating up faceless enemy cannon fodder. We all have our favorite fights, but today I'd like to talk about one fight in particular because of what I think it can teach us about writing great fight scenes. Today, we're going to look at All Might's fight against Nomu during My Hero Academia's USJ arc. Because, on top of being a really awesome fight, I think it's also a perfect example of how fights can be used to teach us about the characters within them. My Hero Academia tells the story of Izuku Midoriya, a superhero fanboy born without powers in a world where they are commonplace. Midoriya, usually known by his nickname Deku, tries to learn everything that he can about heroes and how they do their jobs, because, despite his lack of natural talent, he still dreams of becoming a hero himself. In the first chapter of My Hero, Deku ends up meeting All Might, his personal inspiration and the world's greatest hero. Through demonstrating his own heroism, Deku is able to earn All Might's respect, and become his successor as the wielder of One for All, the power that All Might uses. Early on in the story, we don't really know all that much about All Might, other than that he's not quite who he seems to be. It's hard to remember it now after 5 seasons and more than 300 chapters with him, but when we first met All Might, he was sort of mysterious. He didn't seem all that heroic. He tries to get Deku to leave him alone, and when a villain shows up after he's already exhausted much of his power, well, All Might just decides not to get involved, despite a child being in danger. Plus, from a visual standpoint, there's something foreboding and a little intimidating about his appearance, both in his muscular form and his weak skeletal form. As the first arc of My Hero goes on, we start to learn a bit more about All Might, specifically about his power and the problem that he's currently facing. He reveals that his power is one that is passed down through generations of heroes, and that he himself is losing his ability to use it following a near-mortal injury sustained in a previous fight.
I am All Might!
When we get to the USJ attack by the League of Villains, All Might has been fleshed out a bit more in our minds. We know that he's a decent guy, but you'd still be forgiven for not being in love with him as a character. He hasn't done much to make us as readers and viewers see him in the same way that Deku does, with unending admiration. That all changes with the Nomu fight. Before the fight begins, we set the stage perfectly. There's an overpowered monster terrorizing the fledgling heroes of Class 1A, comprised of Deku and his classmates. Deku and his adorable friend, the frog hero Froppy, are in danger of being killed by the monster's master. A competent hero that we've come to respect, Eraserhead, he's already been brutally defeated by the monster and left bleeding on the ground. The situation could not be more desperate. Enter All Might. Just as both the characters in the scene and us in the audience had given up hope, a hero arrives to save the day. He jumps down and puts himself in danger. Not just contrived danger either, but serious danger. The monster, called Nomu, well, he's a superpowered genetic freak, designed specifically to kill All Might at the peak of his abilities. And, as we've learned so far on the show, the All Might standing here today is far from that peak. We've already seen that Nomu is able to absorb a hit from One for All Might's power, after taking a direct hit from Deku earlier. To top it all off, Deku knows that All Might has already maxed out his usage of All for One for today, and that he really shouldn't be fighting at all right now. The odds are stacked against him in every way. But none of that matters to All Might right now. He doesn't care about how outmatched he is, or how weakened he is. The only thing he cares about is stopping this villain, and protecting his students and colleagues whose lives depend on him stepping up in this desperate moment. So All Might tells the students not to worry, promises his fellow teachers that he'll protect them, and flashes Deku a thumbs up before getting down to business. He digs deep and goes beyond what he should be capable of doing, beating down Nomu with an incredible demonstration of sheer power and will. In this fight, All Might is literally awe-inspiring. He does things that we haven't seen any hero in this show do before, even with a fraction of his former strength. The scene accomplishes a lot in terms of what it's able to tell us about All Might as a character. We learn that All Might really does live up to the hype surrounding him. He's the kind of guy that's willing to put his life on the line to save others, even when it seems certain that he'll be killed in the process. We learn that he's absurdly powerful, the absolute high watermark for what a hero in this universe could be capable of. And we learn that he's the kind of guy to never give up. He defeats the villains and inspires confidence in his students. It even gives All Might a chance to redeem himself after his reluctance to fight in Episode 1, showing that he's learned from his mistakes, and that at this point in the story, Deku and his unabashed heroism has started to inspire All Might just as much as All Might has been inspiring Deku throughout his entire life. That's why, to me, this is the perfect anime fight scene. It has stakes, it has spectacle, but most importantly, it teaches us about our characters. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, then I'd appreciate it if you stuck around to catch the next one. And don't forget to leave me a suggestion for a topic you'd like to see me cover next. See you next time. Bye.